All right, hello and welcome to In the Moment Art. Welcome back. We're happy you're going to draw with us today, and we are going to be drawing
Stitch.
Stitch of Lilo and Stitch, right?
Mm-hmm.
I need to watch this movie again because I wasn't 100% sure who was Lilo and who was Stitch at the beginning, but now I know. So, you watch this movie with me at some point?
Sure.
For Stitch today, we're going to be in Portrait or Landscape. Which one's this? Do you remember? Portrait, right? So we're going to be up and down with Portrait. We're going to be using our pens. If you want to take your time a little more and do a tracing of your pencil, you can do that just to, be a little more careful with it. And yeah, this guy's cool. He's going to be sitting there kind of like a toddler on his butt with his hands down on the ground, big old smile on his face.
A little bit too big.
His
a
smile.
lot of teeth.
Oh, a lot of teeth in there, yeah. Let's try not to make him look angry because we want him to make him look happy. So let's go ahead and hash out the basic shapes of this guy. We're going to do his head in this area right here. It's pretty much going to be a circle, but on the bottom right is going to have a little indentation where his mouth is, okay?
Like his chin.
And up here on the top, we're going to have a little spot for his hair, but we want to make sure we have room for ears because those are pretty big. So I'm going to go pretty much right in the middle, maybe a little bit to the left. And I'm going to start off with a couple little spikes for his hair up on top. You with me? Yeah, like his little cowlick. He has like a little cowlick. Don't you know what a cowlick is?
Not really, but...
All right.
There you go.
And we're going to do our best to start our circle. We're not going to we're going to leave a little gap right here where his ear connects. And we're going to come around. And we're going to start to come around with the circle. It's going to come up just a little bit right here where his eye is going to be. And then we're just going to complete the circle. So I'm going to start right about here. Give it a little gap where his ear is going to be. We're going to come all the way around. Then I'm going to come in and out. And then complete the circle. So essentially we just did a circle. But we have a little gap on the left side. And this little indentation over here. This little wavy line. Okay? And his little cowlicks up here. Okay? All right, so now let's do his nose. So we're going to start right here in the middle. We're going to go a little bit right of the middle. I'm going to make a little dot. Now this is going to be a little bit like a upside down, like a teardrop.
Like a balloon.
Yeah, kind of like a balloon with a little. So we're going to draw a little teeny line, and it's going to go almost to the top, but not quite. Now we're going to do this eye over here. This eye is going to look like kind of like an almond, you know, like those Easter candy almonds, or like a flattened out football. And it's going to come all the way up and it's going to touch. It's going to be about that big, okay? So we're going to make, and it's going to come all the way to the side. So we're going to make that almond shape. And then he's got a little highlight. Okay, that's what gives him that cartoon look. Then we're going to go ahead and do the eyebrow. And that's going to come down, it's going to touch the nose. Like so. And then right where we made that little indentation to start, we're just going to do another little wrinkle up there, and it's not going to come all the way across, okay?
Okay.
All right, now on the other side, the eye's not going to come completely over to the nose. It's going to have a little bit of a gap, so I'm going to make a little dot there. Okay, now this eye, instead of it being kind of a vertical almond shape, it's going to be more of a circle, okay? About the same, about half the size of the...
It's like the nose, but like sideways. Basically.
Yeah, kind of.
Like you just pick up the nose and then you just turn it to the left. And that's what it's like.
Turn it to the left though, yeah. So our point on this eye is going to be coming, kind of that Hershey Kiss shape is going to be pointing to the right. And that's going to have a highlight up in the upper right as well, because he's looking up and to the right. And then we've got our eyebrow. One eyebrow. Two. Those eyebrows or those wrinkles? I don't know. They look like eyebrows.
One of them is an eyebrow, one of them is a wrinkle.
All right, so he's looking up and to the right. Then we've got a little line coming down from the nose.
Okay.
All right, so now let's go ahead and get the mouth. He's gonna look weird without his ears and stuff. All right, so the mouth is gonna be right where that point stops. And all the way, this is gonna be pretty easy because we've already got the line drawn. Okay, and we're just gonna follow it along. So I'm gonna come down. So we've already got the line drawn, so we're just gonna follow that. And then we're gonna come all the way up to where this nose is here, and all the way over here, we're gonna round the corners a little bit. And it's gonna be, we're gonna come down just a little. And we're gonna go up to that line and back over to the other side. It's got a big mouth full of a lot of teeth. Okay?
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and real quick, let's fill in the eyes and the nose. Should we do the ears or the teeth?
Teeth.
All right. So he's got one little triangle here. Now all of his teeth are rounded at the end. So we got one on this side and one on that side. Now he's a vampire. Then we got a bigger one right next to it. And a bigger one on this side. Okay, so these are triangles with well, I ran out of space for my teeth. My mouth wasn't big enough. That's okay. Okay, so we got 3 teeth on each side plus the 2 in the middle. So 4 on each side. Okay, then we got same on the bottom, okay, except these are a little bit smaller. So we're gonna go up like a triangle around the top. Up like a triangle around the top. And then we got 1, 2, 3. Again, I'm 1 tooth short, that's okay. And on the bottom, his gums are kind of showing. So we're gonna put another little line down here. He's a good flosser, so. And we're just gonna draw them in. Try to make them kind of the same. Okay, so he's got the 2 fang ones and 3 other ones on each side, okay? So now that we did the teeth first, now we can do the tongue behind there. So it's gonna be kind of like a heart shape. So it's gonna come up, the back of his tongue. Okay, so we're just showing that in the back, and then we can go ahead and fill in the black. Be real careful when you're filling in the black that you don't mistakenly
Fill in the teeth of the
give him a gap tooth, give him a missing tooth. Like, oh, stop.
What?
Yep, see, I started to fill in my my tongue a little bit. See, I wasn't paying attention.
Scare me.
I know, I'm gonna make sure you didn't do the same thing. That's okay. My guy has a shaded tongue, that's okay.
He has
Just
a
a look.
hairy tongue.
It's not hairy.
The lines look like they're hairy.
Oh well, I don't mind.
Okay.
No worries. All right, face is done. Yes, now we need our ears. So our ears are gonna come way up. We're gonna come up right about, way to the top of our page, right about there. And then the second ear is gonna be a little bit lower, right about there. Okay?
I still haven't filled in
You're
my
still
nose.
filling the nose, that's okay.
Forgot to do it earlier. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna do this right ear first. We're gonna come up right below the eye, right to the bump here. So I'm just making 2 lines. First things first, we're just gonna make a triangle shape. That's the end part of the ear. Makes him kind of look like a bat. So then we're gonna continue on this right line. We're gonna come all the way up to that point that we drew. Okay, we wanna make sure we're rounding out. Okay.
Just a bit.
Yep. And then let's go back down here to the bottom. We're gonna make another little triangle. That's kind of the folded part of his ear. And he's got a little triangle, little missing part of his ear. All right, then we're gonna take this point way up here, we're gonna round it, and we're just gonna come all the way around, nice and round, and connect it with what we did down below. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so now on the other side, I got a mark right here, right in the middle of the eye, and right below that mark right there. This one's gonna look a little bit different. So we're gonna start just to the left of where that opening is. Okay, and we're gonna come up and do a triangle, but it's gonna be more of kind of a flame shape. It's gonna look like that. So we're gonna come to a point. Actually, it's gonna kind of look like a plant. We're gonna make another one. It's gonna come together like that. Looks pretty weird right now, but that's okay. This is the folded part of the ear. All right, so now we're gonna continue this line here. So we're gonna come up. It looks like my point is gonna be a little off, but that's okay. So we're gonna extend that line around the top. Now this one, don't get going too fast because we got to put the little doodad, the little chip coming out of his ear. So we're going to swoop out. And you get right about there. We're going to put that triangle in. And we're going to connect that up. Okay.
My ears look all wonky.
That's okay. Looks good to me. Yeah, well, my face is a little bit small. That's okay. Or maybe my ears are big. I don't know which one it is. All right, so now we're going to do this guy's body. Okay? So let's go ahead and mark the spots on the neck where we're going to come down to his shoulders. Bless you. All right, so his body is kind of wavy. It's not just circles. So that's going to be a little bit tricky to draw. If you want to do this in pencil, you can.
I might do it in pencil because I don't trust myself.
Yeah, so we're going to do this part in pencil, and then we'll go over it. So this front leg, so you always want to draw what's in front first, okay? So we're going to do this right side. All right, so we're going to come out. We want him to come pretty much to the bottom of the page. Okay, I'm just going to use pen so people can see. So flare out, this is his back. You're going to come down and stop. Break the line. Okay, this is going to be his tail. Okay, so now we got to do his foot. Okay, so he's got kind of that circle pad, kind of like a teddy bear does. And he's got 4 toes. Okay, so we're gonna go you can hear that rain on our roof. Pitter patter, pitter patter. I like that sound. So 4 toes, which are kind of like little semicircles. or diamonds, I guess. And then one here at the top. So it's kind of like a flower, kind of. Okay, so then his toenails go on top of that, and we fill them in. So they're kind of like a Hershey Kiss. We use that analogy a lot.
Yeah.
It's a very common shape. Okay, so there's his foot. And then we can go ahead and connect his leg to his foot. And then we can do the top of his leg. So the top of his leg is going to be right here. And that's real easy. We just do a little semicircle C shape here. Okay, so now that's his rear end and his back leg. Let's go ahead and put his shadow on here. So this shape is just going to get narrow. It's going to come out. I think he has just some coloring on his back, kind of like a cow.
Huh?
This little mark on his back. It's kind of like his patterning. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do this leg right here. That's going to start right in the middle. He's got big old strong biceps, okay? And we're going to finish right next to this foot, okay? You're going to have some catching up to do.
Yep.
That's okay. All right, so his shoulder flares out. And if you don't want to do the wavy lines and stuff, that's fine. Okay, so that's his shoulder. And then this foot is going to have a toe here, a toe here, and a toe here. And then we put those Alright, and then his back of his arm is going to come straight up from there. Okay, then he's got his chest. He's just got this tuft of hair coming off his chest. So we're kind of layering it in here. Alright, you ready for me to move on?
Yeah.
Okay. So his other front leg's going to start right here by his chest fur, whatever you want to call it. So same kind of shape as this right here. So we're going to come out for the shoulder. And then he's got another little bulge for like his forearm there. And this one we only actually see two toes. So it's going to come out.
Because it's like, he's like facing sideways, so
Yeah.
we only see.
Yeah, he's like twisting, so it's kind of... Okay. And then the last thing is this lazy foot kind of sneaking way in the back here. And that's going to be kind of like an elephant foot. Okay, so the leg comes down and then the foot comes up. You know how an elephant foot just kind of has that like rounded shape? And then he's kind of tucked in back behind there. So we got one toe, two toes, three toes, with a triangle on the toe. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and color him however you want. The traditional color, as you all know, is kind of like a light blue and a dark blue. Inside of his ears are pink. Teeth are yellow. Eyes are black, obviously. So we're going to go ahead and color and go for it. And we'll speed it up a little bit so you can see what we're going to do.
Okay, I'm done.
All right. Thank you everybody for joining us for our drawing of Stitch today. That was fun.
Yep.
Oh yeah, high five. Good job, kid. All right, we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us on In the Moment Art.
Bye.